people left old worlds for a new life in Wisconsin. Facing unfamiliar landscapes and languages, they established farms and communities and blended the old with the new.
Good morning, Mr. Adams.
From the old worlds, they brought their families, customs, and stories. This accumulated wisdom, offering guidance as the immigrants built lives in the new world. Some say the stories are just tales for children. But who is to say what is fact and what is fiction when the veil between worlds is thin?
I got the book. Yes. Legends and lore.
Go ahead. Open it.
You open it.
No. You brought it. Come on.
Okay. Baba Yaga.
The Russian tales tell of a great evil that lurks deep in the woods. A witch that could sense the dark corners of a little girl's heart if one wasn't careful.
Inside the gates was Baba Yaga's hut. It wasn't like the others that she had ever seen. For it stood on giant hen's legs and walked about the park.
But who can be careful when a world of curiosity lay before you? For centuries, Russians have placed birch brooms over their keyholes to prevent evil from entering. Evils such as Kikamora, dark sorcerers, and the witch of all witches. In some tales, she helps lost souls find their way home, but in others, many others, she's a terrible cannibal, luring children into the forest, often to their doom. There are a few things all these tales have in common. Baba Yaga's fiery temper. Woe to those who cross her path. Baba Yaga's hut, a wrecked shack, perched upon giant chicken legs that creep through the woods like a walking prison, loyal only to the witch.
Wait, no, stop. Oh my gosh.
It's as the old Russians warned. Beware the woods, especially if you have a mischievous heart. You never know what you might find or who you might find.
I don't know if I want to read this anymore.
Keep reading.
Okay. You don't have to.
I can. It'll be fine. Hearn the Hunter. In Windsor Forest. Oh, it's not so bad, right? Yeah. Doth all wintertime. I love winter. He had big claws and a deer head and...
Elizabeth, you don't have to read this.
The British tell of an ancient woodsman who stalks the forest. Some say he bewitches the cattle. Some say he can't even be seen at all, only heard by the sound of dragging chains that bind him to the forest. Others say he's capable of worse. Much worse. So what's the lesson of Hearn the Hunter? It's not about correcting naughty children. It is simply this. In the wilderness, the uninvited will always stay for dinner. One way or another. For most children, whispers of what lies beyond the veil is enough.
I'll take it. I wouldn't do that. No, it's fine.
No,
But for some, whispers aren't enough. They need something
Das Nackrot.
darker.
Back in Germany, me, my father.
Because some children scoff at the wisdom in stories. They let greed into their hearts. And wrath. They ignore their parents' warnings that something lies behind the veil separating this world from the next, waiting for them to misbehave. to scoff at the kindness of others. And to bring harm to the very people who want only the best for them. For these children, we need an old German tale of talons and shadows. You see, when the veil between worlds is thin, the creature of story fly from the page into the world on wings of flesh. Drawn by the actions of naughty children that have lured it into their home. Beware the beast who soars through the night. Beware the shadows, where it lingers. Beware the knocked crop.
You guys were right.
We have to get rid of it.
Yeah. You take it.
Why me?
I don't want it.
Too scared. You take it.
Yeah.
You got it.
Go.
Looks like someone learned their lesson. These stories, they come from all around the world. Tales that teach us right from wrong and provide answers to the questions children ask when their parents tuck them into bed for the night. I got a story every night when I was younger, and my favorite of them all was the tale of Anansi the Spider. Once, a long time ago, our world was without stories. The wind could not carry them, nor could the thunder, because Niame, the sky god, kept all the legends in a giant treasure chest in the sky. Niame's son, Anansi the Spider, had listened to Niame's stories and knew the creatures of the world would benefit from the stories. Wanting to share the stories with all the creatures of the earth, Anansi the Spider used his silk to float into the sky and see Niame the sky god.
I see how people sit in their homes. They are sad without stories to share. If you would let me open the box and release the stories, then maybe the earth's creatures could benefit from your wisdom and come together.
Those below have no time for stories. Why? These stories are only for gods to enjoy.
Oh, the gods don't need all those stories. Your heads are large enough to remember them. Those below don't have any wisdom. Think how the stories could help them.
I suppose. You had the will to float to me on only your strings of silk. I will give you a chance to prove you are worthy to tell these tales. It won't be easy. You must bring me Onini, the cunning python, Ozebo, the strong leopard, and Modia, the ill-tempered fairy. They are all powerful creatures who must be taught a lesson. If you bring all three beasts to me, I can teach them. As a reward, I will unlock the treasure chest of stories for you, so the creatures of the world will have stories to share.
Anansi the Spider landed on the ground at the mouth of Onini's cave. Anansi knew the python very well. He knew that Onini was very proud of himself. Too proud. Anansi knew that he could use that to trap the snake. He grabbed a long and crooked stick from a bush. He then pretended to have an argument with Onini's wife, speaking loudly as he did so.
Oh, is that so? Do you really think Onini is that short?
What are you doing outside my cave?
Oh, greetings, great Onini. Your wife and I were arguing whether or not your body is longer than the stick.
So you say that I'm shorter than the stick, Well, I'll show you just how long I am. I'll show my wife, too. Lay the stick down so I can prove it. Ha! You see? I am longer than the stick.
There seems to be something wrong here. The stick is curved, and you cannot properly line yourself up with those curves. Let me tie you to the stick so you can line up with it.
Very well.
Onini the python laid down on the crooked stick and allowed Anansi to wave thick strands of web around him. Very soon, Onini couldn't move, and Anansi picked up the trapped python and flew into the sky with him.
Where are you taking me, spider?
You are going to see my father, Nyame, the sky god. He's going to teach you the value of humility. You are rude and prideful. You were so focused on being right that you fell into my trap. Not to mention that the branch is longer than you. If only you had heard stories to teach you this lesson earlier.
I can't believe I fell for that.
Anansi went into the jungle and spent all day and night digging a hole. Then he searched for a leaf to cover the hole. When it was done, all he had to do was wait for Osibo, the strongest leopard in the jungle, to walk into the trap. However, even though Osibo had a strong body, he did not have a strong mind. He would often pick on the smaller animals of the jungle and call them weak, so Anansi knew the leopard would underestimate him.
My leopard friend, are you stuck in that hole? I will make you a string for you to climb on.
You are a small spider while I am the strongest beast in the jungle. I have eaten an entire herd of zebras. It will not be difficult for me to escape this whole weak bug.
Osibo the leopard roared and leapt for the edge of the pit, but the pit was too deep and he could not get out. Try as he might, the mighty Osibo knew he was trapped.
Alright then, spider, I give up. I beg you to help me out of this hole.
I knew you would see things my way. Here, I will make some strings out of spider silk to help you out of the hole. Grab on.
Tricky.
Why can't the strongest beast in the jungle use his strength to break free of these weak spider threads?
Release me. The sky god? Why?
Because, my friend, you are too proud of yourself and you need to be taught a lesson. Maybe if you would have had stories to teach you how to behave, you could have avoided this fate.
Anansi planned to make a doll out of sticky tree sap and to use the doll along with the yam paste to trap Umotia. He put the doll under the tree with the bowl of yam paste next to it and waited for Umotia the fairy. He did not have to wait long.
I see you have a bowl of yam paste. May I have some? Oh, thank you. It was so kind of you to let me have your yam paste. Have you not heard me? I said thank you. When I say thank you, you're supposed to say you're welcome. Ugh!
In her rage, Umotia threw herself against the doll. but Anansi's sticky spider webs caught the tricky fairy. Amotia thrashed and thrashed, but she only succeeded in getting caught in Anansi's trap.
Where are you taking me? Answer me, you stupid bug!
I'm taking you to a place where you can learn to control your temper. Nyame the Sky God will teach you to be less ill-tempered and more calm.
More calm? I'm already calm. Let me go!
My father, I have brought you the beast you asked for. I brought you Onini the python, I brought you Ozebo the leopard, and here is Modia, the fairy.
My boy, you have all the mighty beasts I asked you to gather. Now I can teach them to correct their behavior. You are very clever, and that is why I'll give you the box you came for.
Nyame waved his hand, and a small cloud appeared. The cloud was revealed to be the treasure chest of stories. Nyame guided the chest to the land before Anansi the Spider.
This is the box that holds all of the stories of the world. Open it, my child, and release the stories for all living creatures to enjoy.
Thank you, Father. Thank you for giving me this chance to bring stories to the world.
And ever since, we have been grateful to Anansi the Spider for the wonderful stories he won for us. Thanks to Anansi, the wind and the thunder carry stories throughout the world to every living thing who benefit from the wisdom the stories contain. That is why we call tales from our ancestors the Spider Stories. And we have been grateful to Anansi the Spider ever since. There are lessons everywhere for those with the eyes to see. Our ancestors discovered this wisdom and passed it on to us through the tales we tell to this day. It falls to us to keep these stories safe, and in time, pass them on to our children, as links in a chain so they might benefit from these tales from beyond the veil. Because what would it be like to live in a world without legends and lore? I, for one, would rather not know.